Hello, sixth, seventh, and eighth grade middle schoolers. We're so excited to be your teacher today. My name is Kardelia Smith, and I have a co-teacher who is.
Hi guys, my name is Erial Smith and I'll be the co-host teacher today for this presentation.
We're going to talk about environmental health, and we're going to target noise pollution. So you may not have ever heard of environmental health. Environmental health is having a healthy space to live in as humans, animals, and plant life. So, in order to begin our class, we always have an icebreaker. So, today we're going to call this a noise sounding icebreaker, right? So, we're going to have 10 different sounds. The first one being silence, dog barking. Number 3 is music being played, baby crying, a train. Number 6 is a lawnmower. Number 7 is an airplane. Number 8 is construction. Number 9 is traffic or rush hour sounds. And number 10 is crickets. So what you're going to do is take out a sheet of paper. You're going to number it 1 through 10. And as you click on the link, let us know, is this too loud or is this very noisy? It's a little noisy or it's quiet. So we're going to go ahead and rate those, and we're going to give you a couple of minutes to do it. All right, so what is noise pollution, Ms. Smith? I've heard of air pollution, water pollution, but noise pollution? Never heard of that. Glad you asked. Noise pollution or sound pollution is defined as any sound that is unwanted or aggravating or something that's stopping you from doing something, or a level of environmental sound that is likely to irritate individuals nearby, causing distraction caused by hearing damage or disrupt normal activities or lowers your quality of life.
All right, now you guys might be wondering, how does this affect your body? We've heard all different types of sound of baby crying, crickets, airplanes, trains. We've heard it all and we've seen it all, not even realize how it affects our body day in and day out. Now, the problems related to noise pollution can include stress, related illnesses like such as high blood pressure, speech interference, and hearing loss, sleep disruption, and lost productivity. And now you let's go a little bit more into depth into these stress related illnesses. Now, my mother got a house built in 2018 in a community. She was one of the first houses to be built in the neighborhood. And you want to know how that affected me? To be able to see my neighbors getting their house built. Now, it was an exciting time, but they started every day at 7 a.m. I am somebody that likes to sleep in on the weekends and the weekdays if I wasn't working. Um, so this caused me sleep disruption, meaning that I had some human roosters that were next door, banging and building and putting together these houses within the neighborhood. And there was about a good 10 to 12 houses on our little circle or block. So I didn't get much sleep. It made my blood pressure rise because I was like, man, I'm tired, I'm stressed, I'm a little angry about it, and also lost productivity because I wasn't able to sleep. When I did have to go to work the next day, I was still tired. So this is how noise pollution could affect you day in and day out. All right, let's go ahead and go to the next slide. Now, here are some simple facts and data for you middle schoolers to take and enjoy and learn. And as I talk about these facts and data, go ahead and look at our pictures that we have on this slide. You can see a woman right here covering up her ears. We have a dog barking. We see someone on a motorcycle over here. We even see a loudspeaker, like they're getting down on the dance floor. Like there's some people enjoying it. And I think this man right here, he might be working out. Is Cordelia or Miss Smith, is that what you think he's doing? I'm not too sure.
I think he's either working out or he's working on the sidewalk
Yeah,
construction there.
yeah,
Not sure.
right, probably some construction going on there. Now, the common causes of these noise pollution, they can include vehicles, equipment, machines, appliances, those noisy animals, and then also other commerce products, which could include, cars, as you're driving down the street, or your mom or your parents, they're getting you ready to go to school, and you have on the radio and you listen to the song, I love school. and, so,
Hey.
and somebody honking their horn because y'all might be moving a little too slow or a little too fast somewhere on the street. And also another that could be noise pollution as of 2021 contributes to hearing loss more than age does. So this has affected 432 million adults worldwide. So let's go ahead and put this fact into perspective. Normally, within I would say our age expectation or life, we put it in the early 70s as far as people long is as far as the lifespan. Is that early 70s or early 60s? Or can you quote me on that? Well, either way, the fact that noise pollution contributes more to hearing loss in old age, that just really lets us know something. So when you're riding in the car, go ahead and turn down that music a little bit, or live somewhere that isn't so close to a main street. Things like that your parents can help around you to reduce those noises or the noise pollution. And another fact is, as well as New York being one of the loudest cities in the United States. Now, I've been in New York myself. I can attest that it is pretty loud because I live on the outskirts of Fort Worth, where there is still horses, barns, and animals. So it's pretty quiet over here. So just to go ahead and get on a plane and go to the northern part of the United States and hear all that noise, I was like, how does people function around here? Now let's go ahead and move to the next slide. All right. Now these infographics, this was a part of our homework as also co-teachers, but graduate students at the Texas A&M, illustrious Commerce University. Now on the left-hand side, we have a call to action, and then on the right-hand side, we have how to reduce noise pollution. And let's which side should we get into first? Should we get into the left or the right-hand side?
Let's get into the call to action.
Okay. So call to action as far as what students can do as a fifth, sixth, or sixth, seventh, and eighth graders. Some of our call to action could look like put it on noise canceling headphones, so if you're on an airplane and you might need something to help or soothe your ears to not cause any hearing loss, you can go ahead and put on some noise canceling headphones. Or when your parents are mowing the lawn, maybe go to a different side of the house where it doesn't affect your hearing. Like if your dad is in the backyard, go ahead and move to the front of the house so you won't be affected by that. And then also another way, turn the music down. I know, we are a generation that likes to hear the music loud and they want to be on the dance floor with it. But those are some things as middle schoolers that you can do to protect your hearing. Now, as far as how to reduce noise pollution, though we can also do those same things as far as for this grade level to be able to help with noise pollution. All right, go ahead and take it over, Ms. Smith.
All right, so in your Individuals of Society class, which is social studies, I know you've seen this guy. This is President Richard Nixon. And under his leadership, Congress passed the Noise Control Act of 1972. This policy was made to help cancel out unwanted noise that would harm the health and well-being of Americans. So it kind of put in mandates and controls for when airplanes are flying over a certain part of town, or when they can start doing construction and stop doing construction during the day, or when the trains, should pass and how often they should pass. This was all included in this health policy to help make America better as far as noise control.
Okay, go ahead and move to the next slide.
Next slide, please.
Okay.
All right, so when we did the icebreaker, I had you to rate 10 different sounds. So here is a graph of the most common sources of noise pollution. And as you can see, the number one common source of noise pollution is nightlife. Have you ever stopped, like right before you fall asleep and just listen to what's outside and what's going on out there? It could be kind of loud, depending on where you live. So after nightlife, you have agriculture, and then you have construction. We all know construction is very, very loud, as Ms. Erial Smith had mentioned earlier about the great example of her Now, mom's neighbors getting houses built. And then you also have animals. They can be very loud, especially if you have animals in the house. Traffic and air traffic. And then lower on the bar graph, you have household noises, which I think we kind of get immune to them because you know their refrigerator is going to run all day, night and night. You know that the air conditioner or the heater system is going to click on and off. If you're cooking, you're going to hear the frying pan or something boiling or the kettle boiling, or the water running. And the TVs, we also kind of get adjusted to those sounds in life, not even knowing how it's affecting our health. Next slide, please. You can take it over now, Ms. Smith.
All right. Now, as graduate students and co-teachers, a big part of our last module that we had to discuss before putting together this presentation was stakeholders and our partners and how they can help reduce the noise pollution, and how Ms. Kardelia Smith spoke to the noise control of President Nixon. How he spoke to the noise control of 1972. Now, we will say that our stakeholders, they are our advocacy groups. And to provide more information about advocating or advocation for groups and individuals, that relates to having someone stand up for you. Like if you have your mom or your dad that's standing up to you, if you have a bully or something and they go to the school and they make sure to reprimand the situation or the actual other student, that's how we're going to talk about stakeholders in this sense. Now, as it relates to noise pollution, let's go ahead and read off the presentation here. Sometimes people might emphasize the importance of having clear rules and giving the right amount of money to different things and doing things on time in the office as it relates to noise and control jobs. Now, as she spoke about President Nixon, relating to as far as what time the trains come by, as far as the planes, just reducing the noise pollution and also making sure that there's a good quality of life for that community or the people that have been impacted by it.
Okay, population. As you can imagine, noise pollution affects everyone in the world. But we want to target those urban communities, those communities that are, kind of packed in how they live, and they live close together. People who live in more rural areas, like Miss Erial Smith says, she lives on the outskirts of Fort Worth. She has noise pollution, but not as much as I may have, because I live in a city called Mesquite. And Mesquite, where I live, is right off the freeway. So I can literally hear the fire trucks and the police going down, because I'm closer to the freeway, even though I want to live, because I can just literally go outside of my house, get on the freeway. The downside of it is I hear everything that goes on the freeway. So let's talk about that urban communities being a population that's affected more by this. In inner cities and the lower social economic class population that just can't afford it, and it's like, where I can't afford to move rural, because if you're living out there, of course, the houses are bigger and then it's more gas to travel and to commute backwards and forward to work. So you have to think about those things, when you talk about the target population with this noise pollution. Okay, next slide. Okay, so every good teacher is going to have a test, right? So this test is pretty much over everything that me and Miss Smith, Ms. Smith and I have taught you on today, and it's on Kahoot. And Kahoot is very, very fun.
Do you mean go ahead and just start it to show them?
Yeah, we're going to show them, but we're going to let them test on their own.
Okay.
So this is how you get into the Kahoot. And once you're done taking the test, it's going to automatically email Ms. Smith and I your results. So that's your game pen. And everyone will log in with this game pen. And their time, you have 20 seconds per question. It's only 10 questions. Okay. And then we'll get your results as a class.
Okay. All right, let me go ahead and close these, and then let me go back here. Okay. All right, y'all. Now, oh, I'm sorry. Now, all right, you guys. Now we're wrapping it up. I hope that today was informative for you guys, and provided a good overview of noise pollution. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to move us over a little bit so to ensure that you guys are able to see everything. Now, to recap what we talked about today, we talked about the definition of noise pollution, how it affects our body, our mood, our sleep, our stress, the facts and the data. One of those main facts being that noise pollution causes hearing loss more than age does. The infographics, the call to action. What can you do as middle school students now to help prevent or reduce noise pollution? The Noise Control Act of 1972, the Noise Pollution Index. Miss Cordelia Smith talked about that as it relates to the nightclub partying, your dogs, your in-house, about your refrigerator that be maybe running a little too loud. And then the stakeholders, as far as those advocacy groups, the population that was affected today, and then to wrap it up, the Kahoot, the assessment that you guys will be doing after this presentation. And all right, now we have the evaluation overview and the link. Let's go ahead and click on this link in evaluation so you guys can give us a rating on how you think that we did. Now, we think we did an awesome job, but we don't want to sound a little bit biased. Now, let me go ahead and show you this presentation evaluation form. Now, here you'll go ahead and put our topic title. And what's our topic title, guys? I think it's a pretty easy one to remember.
Noise pollution.
And then you'll go ahead and put your name, your Jane Doe, and then the feedback tool here. Now, how were the speakers? Were they engaged with the audio? Did they provide some energy? Were they knowledgeable about the content that they provided here today? I believe you were. And then the content itself. Now, was it appropriate for you guys as far as our attended audience? And then how likely were you to remember anything? Did you remember those fun graphics? Did you remember that photo of President Nixon? Did you remember me talking about stress? Just go ahead and give us a rating based on those things. And then the teaching methods. Did you enjoy hearing about that, or did you enjoy that icebreaker? Did you enjoy hearing that baby crying, or that dog, or that cricket that you can never find? And then also the visuals that were provided. Y'all, we put in some hard work for those visuals. So go ahead and give us a rating based on that. And then the comments. Is there anything that you think that we can improve upon? Or then also, or there's some praises, go ahead and give us some praise and worship about all the hard work that we did today. And then once you're done with that, just go ahead and submit that to us as well. And then these are our references. I believe we're touching on that in middle school as far as making sure that you give credit to somebody when it's due. Well, this is us giving credit when it's due. This is where we got our information from as it pertains to module 2 through 4. And we go ahead and we encompassed it within all of our references here today. And then our contribution. We talk about all the hard work and the glitz and glam that we have put together here for you today. Miss Cordelia, she had played her part in this, and then also myself as well. I did my part as well in this. And it's a group effort. I think we made an amazing thing today.
High five.
All right. And then we want to give y'all a big thank you for being here today and learning about noise pollution is, going home and telling your parents like, hey, mom, hey, dad, I think these are some things that we can do to make the world a little bit quieter. Now, when you guys are done, go ahead and give, bundle up all of your information and your data and go ahead and submit it to us here. Miss Cordelia Smith, do you have anything more to add to this presentation?
I just want to thank you guys for listening and paying your undivided attention. And like my cohort said, go out and share this information. That's the best way to get things done in our community is to educate. So tell, hey, do you know there's such thing as noise pollution? So go out there and be little advocates for us. And thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, guys. All right. Now.